What might not be so apparent when you travel Potomac's River Road is the rich Black history that's a part of Montgomery County. Tucked away at the intersection of River and Pennyfield Lock Road is the community of Toby Town. Settled in 1875 by freed slaves, Toby Town is named after Tobias Martin. At that time, most residents of Toby Town worked on local farms.
It was a long, long time ago.
Phyllis Shaw has spent most of her life in Toby Town. She says the original land for Toby Town was given to a group of her relatives who worked on a plantation.
And the owner left so much land. From what I gathered, it was like 93 acres of land. And they left it to them, and they, you know, and piece by piece, they lost it for silly reasons that I said it was silly, but back in the day, I guess it wasn't silly, because people didn't have the money, so they have to give up the land.
But she has fond memories of growing up in Toby Town. She and the other children who lived there would spend time at the river or playing on the farm of the renowned Washington columnist Drew Pearson, which was across the street.
They had corn, apple trees, all kinds of stuff that they plant. The river was down there, and people could go fishing and boating and all kinds of stuff.
When Shaw was a young girl, Toby Town residents lived in small, crowded shacks. The community shared one toilet and one well, and wood-burning stoves were the only source of heat. In 1972, the Housing Opportunities Commission bought the land and replaced the original 15 homes with today's 26 homes that stand on the property still today. Those houses signified hope that the hard times for Toby Town would be in the past. So there's a lot of history here.
There's a whole lot of history here that haven't been told, that people don't know about, you know, like the old Toby Town, the way we came up. And I mean, it's strange, because now that from there to here, it's a big difference. You know, I mean, like I say, it's better because we don't have to go outside to use the bathroom no more. We got toilets now.
And after decades of fighting for public transportation, the County Council recently approved funding for ride-on bus service for Toby Town residents.
I love the bus. I feel like we're connected to the world almost now. Like, we're not isolated anymore, because at first it feels isolated. Once you're here, it's like you're here. The only way out was the school bus, but now there's a ride-on bus. It's really nice.
We're going to the grave site that's been here for over 100 years.
And a graveyard where many of the community's ancestors are buried is unkept.
All this was a grave area right here. This whole part. They used to have graves. Where these houses is, there used to be graves sitting there, but HOC came in and dug up all the graves and put the houses there, you know. Matter of fact, you walking on graves now. They just don't have no stones. The fence, you got one over here, and you got one right there. I mean, you got them all over here.
But Phyllis Shaw says there are changes that have happened over the years that are cause for celebration.
A lot of the kids finished school and went to college. That's a good thing. And now a lot of them have better jobs. They don't live here anymore.
Being able to provide opportunities for the next generation is the most important thing to residents like Wilson and Shaw, and also to hold on to this slice of history that played a significant role in shaping Montgomery County.
I hope that Toby Town could remain, but you know what? I know that it's not. I'm not going to live in fairyland, because I look at the situation. I've been to meetings and different things like that, and I know how bad that they want this property. And then I'm looking at the younger people. They don't know the history of the place. After we gone out of here, that's it. But you know what? I had to get to a place where I say, it's up to you, God. It's up to God.
The story is a little different 10 miles east of Toby Town in the heart of downtown Rockville. Lincoln Park is another community in Montgomery County originally settled by African Americans. It dates back to the 1850s, but was officially established in 1891 when local businessman William Wallace Welch purchased 8 acres in Lincoln Park and sold lots on that land for $80 each. It was one of the nation's first real estate ventures for African Americans. Anita Neal Powell was born and raised in Lincoln Park, and she still lives there today.
I grew up in Lincoln Park. I attended segregated school, Rock Terrace Elementary School, which is now a high school. I can remember actually walking from Lincoln Park to Rockville. Well, I can remember the unpaved streets growing up in Lincoln Park. I can remember on Spring Avenue where the horses were. We had to pay 10 cents to get on the horse. I can remember chickens in the community across Miss Israel's house.
After the emancipation of Maryland slaves in 1864, African Americans organized and started the Rockville Colored School, which educated children until the 7th grade. 4 years after the state established schools for black students, the Montgomery County Board of Education built the Rockville Colored Elementary School. Anita Neal Powell says Rockville became the hub of black education, which in turn was a big benefit to the children of Lincoln Park.
If you were to go to school during segregated time, you had to come to Rockville. So all the kids from around Montgomery County, all the parents, relatives, were able to know the rest of Montgomery County because of the hub of which exists.
However, there have been challenges along the way for the community. Lincoln Park officially became a part of the city of Rockville in the 1940s, but in the 50s, gentrification was setting in, and some African American residents were relocated from the center of town to Lincoln Park. And running water didn't come about until 1949.
In many of the homes, you still have a well. So it wasn't until later on, when we became a part of the city of Rockville, that we were able to get running water.
But to Powell, the sense of community she felt growing up in Lincoln Park gave her pride, which she still carries with her. Though Lincoln Park is much different today, many of the neighborhood values remain unchanged.
But the community really has changed a lot. The complexion of the community has changed. I can remember the neighbors actually telling on us or looking out the windows when my mom wasn't home, my dad wasn't home. They would tell everything. They left nothing unturned. Today, they still do the same thing.
Lincoln Park is just blocks from the Metro's Red Line. It has its own community center, ball field, and cemetery where, like Toby Town, folks who played an important part in black history are buried. Just over 10 years ago, the city tore down the Lincoln Terrace public housing project on Moore Drive and put in 53 townhomes and 7 single-family homes. What was once a site for drug problems and crime is now a mixed-income residential community. Powell says she would like to see those residents become more invested in the fabric of Lincoln Park.
Now, we're working to keep this community alive. We're so proud of who we are and where we live. And we want to instill it into others to say, come to my community.
Both Lincoln Park and Toby Town have retained their cultural identification. Generations of families have remained a part of the original fabric of these communities, enriching the historic value of Montgomery County.